Hello and welcome everyone, I am duckyobrien, and today I'll be going over a game called Wildermyth. Wildermyth was developed by Worldwalker Games LLC. It was published by Worldwalker Games LLC as well as WhisperGames, and it was released onto the PC on June 15, 2021 with a current MSRP of $24.99. Why don't we get into it? Wildermyth is basically kind of like if you combine the roguelike and RNG elements of like Darkest Dungeon with a turn-based strategy game, kind of like XCOM. It's kind of weird to imagine those two genres pushed together, but when I get into it, I'm gonna start a new game. Better to show than tell. So let's see. I'm gonna start a game. I'm gonna pick the first one because it's the easiest. We're just gonna go with whatever. You can randomize or re-roll these dudes. Okay, this book. There's room in it for another story. It's cold, I'm stuck here. Blah blah blah. Here in a yonder country, something in the woods is very strange. Haunted only by the dust on her new boots, a young woman named Conway takes the seasonal road to the town of Timberham. Breeze is light that day. Birds are timid. In fact, the whole world is taking a breath, ready to leap into the sea. Fluttering flames roost among the far-off rooftops. Conway hurries towards the town thinking of Enion, a young man whom she's known since girlhood. So here you can choose like the relationship between the characters. A little bit of story here. So it feels a little bit disjointed at first. You might not know what's going on, but I think they do a pretty good job of making it feel kind of like a... It's like a Dungeons and Dragons sort of session. A very, very simplified, light version, alright? So you can see it's a grid. So if you look, you have 2 action points, and most actions will take 1. There are some actions that take 0. And then some actions will end the turn right away. So if you look, green is how far I can move. I can extinguish, and then that takes an action. Moving here will use up both of my action points. Those little diamonds are your action points, the green is your health bar. If you look here, that diamond is clear, meaning when you use that action, it will not take up any of your action points. She doesn't know. This reminds me of Nika's stream. Everyone's like, she doesn't know. It's like Karoo. It's like my friend Karoo. Apparently his handle was Caro, some sort of demon in the Catholic religion, or so he tells me. And I did not know how to read it, so I've been calling him Karoo this entire time, and everyone just started calling him Karoo. And I was like, oh, and it stuck. Okay, now we can pick our weapon type here. This has... It's kind of like a mace, so it has knockback. Let's see, I think the pickaxe has... It's like an axe, and it breaks armor. And the pitchfork has... stunt damage or something like that. We're gonna try to pickaxe. Okay. Oh, what? Okay. can shoot that thing. I'll just wait here. Let him come to me. So if you look at the blue, there's armor because your teammates are next to each other. So there's a defensive formation that will take reduced damage from attacks. There's a lot of things going on in this game. It's pretty mechanically deep. It's not like there's a lot of complex mechanics, it's more like there are rather simple mechanics that kind of interconnect with each other, and you kind of have to keep track of them so that you can maximize outgoing damage and minimize incoming damage. That's all it boils down to. Alright, now your characters level up and we can choose an ability. Melee attacks only cost probably one action. Okay. That was always the case, but it ended a turn. Ooh, reduces her speed by 1/2. We'll try this. I'm very tired right now. I don't know why, but lately I could not sleep. So I'm making these videos very late. Like it's like 6 AM in the morning right now. I haven't slept yet. Alright. The Greenhorn Hunter can choose ability. Poison. Blinds. Ooh, flash cone. That's really handy. What? Ambush? That sounds really good. Wait, this isn't active though. Oh, whatever. Alright, Brooch of Cunning. Melee accuracy, ranged accuracy. I'm gonna give it to the sniper. The creature's death is quiet. It seems to slip from life too. In a few stunned hazy blinks. Okay. So basically you went to your village to find your friend. Turns out it's being attacked by weird monsters. You're like, what's going on? And it's like, let's go look for our other friend. Calway and Enion follow the pounded path of monstrous feet, hoping for the best and dreading every other possibility. Friendship. A wordless while passes between them, but the quiet only heightens their worry. Dude, the writing in this is pretty good. It has a certain feel to it. It's very consistent, and the vocabulary they use is extensive, and some words I never saw before. I consider myself... Well, I used to read a lot, so I used to consider myself well read, and I'm like, wow, I've never seen this word used in common speech. Recently. Bravo, whoever did the writing. Okay, so here's the main map, and there are certain areas you can't go to. So what you do is you are exploring the board, and every action takes time. So we're gonna go here. This is where our quest is. So you can click on it and click Scout, and then you can choose heroes from the list. Now as you play the game, you're gonna have a lot more heroes, and since you're not gonna have a lot of time, you're gonna have to send them out to do tasks separately in smaller groups. For now, you can have them all in one team. You're not gonna get more guys until later. The tower where Sorsen had arranged to meet Calway and Enion is a place he often used to escape to as a boy. He knows its rooms and floors so well, he could survive being chased through them. Dusk gets deep as rain puddles in here. There's monsters here. It's a picturesque old tower, perfect for a plot twist. Now it's a little more than a strange nest for spiders, owls, and trysting lovers? Yeah, I don't know what that word is. I can guess from the context, but as the old will tell you, precious things go overlooked in a ruin. What lodges amid the bones of failure is often the dream that drove it. So he finds a book. It's called Wildermyth, and there is a blank page, and he starts writing the tale here. Okay, Sorcerer writes, words are ready. Omens have formed in the fabric of everything, and he's beginning to recognize them now. Some are just misgivings. They've crept through his body like the sourceless aches one wakes with. Others are more substantial. Now they seem lightning plain, a promise of thunder. For in the wild black woods where birds once spelled, a hateful silence churns. Okay. Blah blah blah. Pure powerful. Now he's the magician. You can pick spoon or staff. That's the wand. I guess we can try staff this time. Okay. So this guy can infuse with objects. Oh, you gotta click on the bottom tile. I keep clicking on the top of the object. After you infuse, you can interact with them, so you can go Battle Lance, and it'll do AoE damage. And it died already. Wow. Okay. Infuse with one additional target. Yo, that's dope. Interesting. Pin surrounding. I like this one. Okay. More monsters roam the ruined halls and rattle the rotting furniture. But Sorcerer moves quietly, sensing his way in the dark. Daylight lands on his wrists. Cool wind soothes his tired eyes. He closes the tower door, gentle to make no noise. Okay. So, this guy read the book and he's like, I'm a wizard. Yeah, wizard, how are you? Okay. So this is the starting kind of tutorial level. There's a lot more. When you first play it, it goes through a lot of things. Since I already played the game, you know, whatchamacallit, it's skipping a lot of things. We're gonna go assault the keep here. So you take over the territory by attacking the stronghold, and then you have to reclaim that. All of that takes time. Okay. So I picked the courage one and I get a little buff. Okay. You want the soldier person, the warrior class, to be in the front lines and everyone else to be in the back lines, although they can just kind of run past. Okay. Oh, and you have to pick a certain tile. Whatever. Interesting, there's no one here. Okay, I did not mean to move this guy. Ah, there's no one anywhere. Where are they? Must be... Select the focus. Okay, I understand how that... I never had this skill before, so I get how it works now. There they are. Okay. That will do Guardian. Okay. You can right click to move this. How many action points does she have? 1. Okay. And that I infused that cask, and then I did an AoE attack that would hit both of them. Now, she had Guardian set up, which is basically like, kind of like Overwatch or whatever the... I forgot what the melee version was. If someone attacks them or comes near them, they will attack them 1 time. Dodge, darn it. That's the my least favorite part of these games is when, you have like 75% hit chance on XCOM and then you miss, and the enemy has like 15% chance to hit and they crit on the attack. You're like, what is this? What is this? Alright. We got some armor. You can see you get minus speed, meaning you can't cover as much ground. You get minus dodge. Yeah. I want to give my melee person the most armor. Okay. The last misshapen creature fills its bones and dies. Blue fluid darkened the dust. Day drops, day rises, dusk is sweet, and the sunrise sweeter. It's not long before they clean the old tower up a bit. Okay. I'm gonna call ourselves... Okay. That's part of a knock knock joke my buddy Usok told me. He was like, knock knock, who's there? I eat mop. I eat mop poo. And I was like, oh, that's the first time I heard that. And told me another one, knock knock, who's there? Europe. You're a poo. Oh, these are great. But as you play, enemies get stronger. We're gonna go claim this. So you have 2 options. You can take a longer amount of time, but you'll find more items, or you can take a less amount of time, and you won't find as much. And then at the end of that chapter, you get to use all of the items that you found to craft upgrades or new gear. So you're gonna find like iron ingots, hides, magic thread. I think those are some of the common crafting materials. And then depending on the type of gear you have, you can either craft new ones or upgrade them. It's kind of expensive, so you might want to take your time and search for everything. Here it is. Hides, ingots, spell threads. Now, oh, melee accuracy and ranged. I'll give it to the hunter. Is this the hunter? I forgot. Who are you again? Yeah. The problem is, you have a set amount of time to accomplish your goals. And as you play, there's something called the Calamity card, which is after this amount of time passes, there's going to be a massive upgrade to the monsters. So you saw that it was kind of like a deck-based system. So when you enter a dungeon, there's a chance to encounter some, I was going to say encounter some enemies, and it'll be much harder because the enemies will be upgraded, their cards. It'll have like special effects. The one that you see early is enemies will leave a trail of corruption whenever they move, and if you step in it, you take damage. Stuff like that. Okay, we're going up now. I'm gonna play for a little bit more. This is enough to give you guys an idea what the game is like. Oh wait, we're gonna go get a new recruit. So everything costs legacy points when it changes the game for you a little bit. So recruiting people will cost legacy points. You can also spend legacy points to say, I don't want this Calamity card. It's really expensive though. So it's kind of like a balancing mechanic of, if you go through the ruins more carefully, you're going to get more legacy points, but it takes more time. You can use that to hire new people or reduce the Calamity cards. It's up to you. Okay. A little bit of a story here. That's right. Anyways, I'm hoping you come back. Everything's fine. That's just it. It's been quiet in Timberham so far, but I heard those things you said. Talk of linking our hearts into an unbreakable chain of legend. Blah blah blah. This is kind of weird though. Sometimes it goes from right to left. Sometimes it goes from, you know, left to right. You can just skip it. And then you can choose them. You can choose how to train them. I like having 2 warriors in the front line and then balance it out with ranged and magic people. Alright. So make sure you get the recruit ready. Everything takes time. Again, when you get more people, you can start spreading them out into other groups and, you know, do multiple things at the same time. Starfire. Okay. Alright. Let's go explore. So this kind of reminds me of, again, Darkest Dungeon combined with like XCOM. It feels more like a roguelite. There's some RNG elements. It's, you know, it can be difficult. And then the combat, the core, the meat of the game is a turn-based RPG. Suddenly, the path widens, spilling out into a large clearing bathed in starlight. The music, it calls to me, we should join them. Join them? That seems like a profoundly bad idea. They have no faces. You can see 50% chance that something good will happen or something bad. And then you can just go away. So obviously if you take a risk, there's a chance for a greater reward and also some sort of punishment. Whereas if you take the safe route, you're gonna get less of a reward, but you know, nothing really detrimental will happen to you. Let's just say let's dance, let's see what happens. As soon as Bound steps between the stones, music washes over him. Unlike anything he's ever heard before, and yet its melodies seem familiar. Were not these drums always beating in time with his heart? Had he not always found himself absently humming this tune? He flows among them, a beam of starlight woven with the others. Ooh, got something good. A small book worn with age. For a moment the constellations on its cover sparkle. Then it lies quiet and still, waiting. Okay. There's a lot of funny random encounters. It feels like, again, a story. There's one, I just want to tell this one, where you meet a doppelganger of yourself. And you have a lot of options. You can keep talking to your doppelganger, you can go away, or you can attack it. And I chose to talk to it, and it turns out that doppelganger is a nice guy. And actually has your memories too, most of them. And then what you decide to do is that you had a dream to do something, but you can't do it because you're in a party and you're kind of on an adventure to save the world, and you're like, all right, one of us can go chase our dreams. So it was kind of like this funny, wholesome moment. And it's something I didn't expect out of this type of game. Okay, so we're gonna build a station here. You can reclaim it, and you can choose what it does. I don't know how to play the game and how to min-max, so I always just choose the thing that gives me both. If there's an option for that, I mean, sometimes it's like you can have 2 of this, 2 of that, or 1 of each. That's usually how it goes. Okay. Oh, I must have paused it by accident. Okay. There's the calamity. Here it is. So we have, how much LP do we have? 1. Shoot. I think I passed time by accident, not realizing that I had to go click that way. 25% health, raccoon. Alright. Now these guys will show up. That's not good. Okay. Gonna go attack. The sun's fallen and a silver fog floats through the trees, from the trees where shadows pool. The quiet forms a fence around them impenetrable, the whirling air almost utterly opaque. They all just inside the shelter of the pines, the dark air clinging wet, the trunks stay pressed to dampen their palms. And then something vast moved beside them. Slow, achingly slow. It passes, too enormous to be seen, impossibly silent. Night's fallen, the fog wanders away, clinging to the felty outline of that gargantuan shadow. So before I was like, we should stick together if this is a horror film. Splitting is a terrible idea. I picked this, we didn't get to see what it was. Let's see what happens when we follow it. Approximating where the giant has passed, they search. There are no footprints. Or are there? Pools of green light are spaced along between the unbroken pine trunks, perhaps at distances to match the thing's huge strides. Even as they watch, the light pools rapidly shrink into the ground, drying, sinking, perhaps just fading like starlight. Varn runs to stoop over one of those and scrapes the earth away with the tip of his spear. He plucks a glowing seed from the ground as it tries to burrow deeper. It slips his grasp, but then floats, settling in the air. Oh, you get attacked? Uh-oh. Walling provides no armor to this combat. Okay, so there's cover here. If you stand behind cover, you know, if you look here, you can see that objects have health and armor. Warding is magic resist. But yeah, it's kind of like any turn-based role-playing game. Okay. And keep clicking the object, not the tile. Just remember that. Let's see. Use this. Okay. Oh, you stepped into my trap. Okay. So if you look, this guy has armor. He gets annoying later because you have to have someone break through that armor, otherwise he's kind of tough to kill. Okay, I'm gonna shoot this guy. Oh, come on. Took cover. Can I do Splinter Blast? Viscous. Alright. Oh, holy fools. I did not mean to go all the way up there. I forgot, there's like a spirit dude, and you can capture it. The entire time, I was not paying attention, so I was totally unaware that you could capture it. You're supposed to run after and grab it. I can't really infuse with anything here, I guess. Oh, where is he going? Uh-oh. Look how little damage it takes because of the armor. Thank goodness you can attack diagonally. Could have been bad. So I'm not entirely sure how the game works. I didn't play it long enough to figure out the mechanics. But if someone dies, you can have them be maimed and then come back later. You can have them die and then like buff the team. So it's up to you how you play. 0.5 armor, gonna give it to my main person. Make him a little bit tanky. Bairn and Conway recount what they saw. Colossus striding silently through the silver fog. The others never saw more than the great banks of mist separating them. They make a further search for signs of the giants passing, but are forced to camp precious hours from sunrise, having found nothing. Later. Barn plain sit on a sunblast hillside in a bed of soft earth. Who knows what will sprout? Alright, see, look here. +1 armor. Oh, that's kind of annoying. Okay. Got Heartwood. 0.7 health. I'll give it to the other tank. Is it this guy? It's this guy, right? Yeah. Okay. What don't call it there. This is just a quick preview of the game. I'm not gonna break it down because I don't know enough about it. But I couldn't put it down when I was playing it. I had a lot of fun. And hopefully this gave you guys an idea what the game is like, and hopefully you enjoyed what you saw. If you have any questions, comments, things you'd like to see or for me to cover, please feel free to leave a comment down below. One thing I would like to add though, yeah, this game blew up on Steam. It's pretty popular now, and I put in a request after that point, and a lot of these companies, when they see their games doing well, they won't approve requests for small content creators because they're like, oh, we're popular now. We can kind of give it to people who give us more views because we already have a lot of traction, you know, a lot of attention, a lot of exposure, and yeah, so it's very rare. But you know, they approved my key request because I wanted to cover the game, and that's something you don't really see. So I appreciate that quite a bit. I'm not obligated to say this. Usually they tell you in like a guide where some companies will be like, oh, you have to mention that you got the key for free or whatnot. 99.99% of the games I cover don't require that. It's only like the larger companies. But yeah, anyways, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I quite enjoy playing the game. Anyways, thank you guys for dropping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. And as always, hope you guys are staying safe and sane out there, and I'll catch you guys next time, and hopefully I can get to sleep now, but we'll see. I'll see you guys later.